Hi, I'm Crystal.
I'm Tara.
I'm Karin.
And I'm Neoshia.
And you're listening to the Rom-Com Detectives. Welcome to Rom-Com Detectives, episode 18, the second episode in our rom-com division. Today, we've all gotten together for a quick episode to welcome a new rom-com detective to the team, Neoshia Roemer. Hi, Neoshia.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
So we're welcoming her to our team of detectives because we're going to be starting up a castle unit 1 week from today. Yay! So why don't we start off with some background? Can you give us some of her fandom background? I know you've hosted podcasts in the past, so why don't you tell us a little about that too?
Yeah, so I am, something of a fangirl, you might say. I would say my first fandom was probably the X-Files. Yeah, actually, I'm going to say that my first fandom was the X-Files. Little 11-year-old me walking to the library to get those DVDs so I could get caught up on the earlier seasons. But yeah, so I've been around for a while. So X-Files, pretty much all of the shows that Rom-Com Detectives covers, and I'm also a pretty big sci-fi fantasy person. A big fan of Song of Ice and Fire books, which is what the Game of Thrones series was loosely based off of, not completely. And I don't know. So active fandoms, this one's kind of tough for me because it goes back and forth, really. I would say active right now would be Severance, The Minimalist, always rewatching NCIS Los Angeles, and Bones. So yeah, those are my active fandoms. And then finally, I had a podcast from 2019 to 2021 called Cafe Flamingo, in which I went through various projects that Allison Janney has done. And in doing so, I mean, it was a really, really cool podcast. Folks can still check it out. It's still up, at least on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. But it was just about going through her different movies and TV shows and, talking about her performance and the characters she played, because I do love Allison Janney. So that'll be fun when The Diplomat comes back this fall.
I love that show.
Yes.
So, I mean, we met basically through the Mentalist Bullpen Discord server, right?
Yes, which Karin put me onto because
Yeah.
I met Karin like
5 years ago.
It's been 5 years, yeah.
Yeah,
So
2020.
which is funny because this is the first time we've ever been like face to face in
Oh,
communication.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we met like a while ago, so we've been communicating via Discord. And so yeah, Karin put me on to the Minimalist Bullpen, and so yeah, that's how we met. Yeah, and then Tara, I don't think we have met, so
We haven't.
this is our first time too.
But X-Files was also baby's first fandom, so I hear you. I was a
Yeah.
little older than 11. Just a little.
It doesn't matter. We're all here. It's fine.
The reason I invited Neosha on is because we chat a lot in the Discord server for the Mentalist, and it just felt like, oh my god, everything that I like to watch, you watch too. And she's a listener too of the podcast, so it started getting into my head. I wanted to do Castle. Like Castle, Mentalist, and Lucifer are like my top 3 rom-com detective shows. So I had always wanted to do a Castle one, and yeah, just there are a couple of things that kept me from doing it. I mean, like one of them is like it's a lot of podcasting to do, but we started talking about Castle recently, and oh my god, I just wanted to just go for it.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of funny because I haven't rewatched Castle in a few years. So this is really the first rewatch I've done in a while, and it was just something I kind of fell right back into. And so yeah, I think that's been one of the cool things connecting with fans of not only the Minimalist and the Minimalist Bullpen, but also people who watch other things. Because yeah, Crystal, we have a lot of crossover, and like just the other night we were watching Murderbot at the same time.
Oh, But yeah, so and Neosha is a serious binger because I mentioned possibly inviting her to this castle thing, and like I don't know, like a week later, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm on season 3 of a Castle Rewatch now." I was like, "What?"
I do take my binge watching seriously, which can become a problem to my real life.
But I mean, Castle is one of my. I found Castle after Lucifer. Like I got obsessed with Lucifer, and after watching it 3 or 4 times, I was like, maybe I should look at other things. And I started watching Castle, and I was like, oh my god, this show is so similar to Lucifer. And but it's like Castle came first, so I feel like Lucifer is a clone of Castle, but it ticks all those rom-com detective boxes. It's
Y-
got to be included, right? So
Yeah, I always just thought that Lucifer was kind of like, I always jokingly say, Lucifer is if Castle and Supernatural had a baby.
yeah. Have you watched? I don't remember, Tara. Have you watched Castle?
I have watched most of Castle, and then I moved and didn't have a TV for a while, and so I've never watched like the last couple of seasons. So this will inspire me to go back because I really loved it, and then yeah,
I mean, a
fell
lot
out
of
of the
people
habit.
say don't watch the last couple seasons, so maybe you're fine how you are.
That seems to be a trend.
For me, like the castle end credits music is actually my ringtone right now, and it's my alarm. So whenever like my alarm goes off, it's the castle end credits music. And then if people go to look at our website, my profile picture is my castle cosplay because I mean I've mentioned before that I'm an editor, and so I had dressed up and I went to take headshots. I had dressed up as Castle for Halloween one year, and instead of writer on my vest, I put editor, and so that was my costume. So when I took new headshots, I was like, oh, why don't I just take this and she can take some pics of me wearing this too. So that's why I'm like all dolled up in my castle costumes. Big castle fan. So castle units are probably not going to be released as often throughout. Like me and Neosha are both going to be pretty busy in the fall, but we'll try to do maybe every 3 to 4 weeks instead of every 2 weeks. We'll see how things go next year. Show concept and segments. We're going to have Neosha's my latest quiz victim. So
Nice.
our castle quiz is called Beckett's Interrogation. And then for watches, we have Casket Corner, which is, gushing about the ship. There's bestseller list where we go over our favorite scenes and lines. There's going to be author notes, which is what we're calling our segment about behind the scenes tidbits. And the spoiler policy is since Castle is an old show, just like Mentalist. Is it younger or older than Mentalist?
It's the same, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Castle started in the spring of 2009. It was a mid-season show.
Uh huh.
So that's why it's only 10 episodes. So it started
Oh.
in the spring of 2009, which was during the Minimalist first season, because the
Uh
Minimalist
huh.
started in 2008, the fall.
2008 in the
Yeah.
fall. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. They were really going at this type of procedural.
It was a good time.
I know.
And I think,
Lucifer's the baby out of the three.
Bones overlapped too, didn't they? Like, wasn't
yes,
Bones airing at the same time? Yeah.
Bones
yes.
probably overlaps both of them because it has 13 seasons.
Well, it's funny because, like, they call this like the golden era of TV. Like, so this late 2000s into 2010s. And yeah, I mean, all of these shows, Bones. So Bones in 2009 would have been in its fourth season, I think.
Uh,
Yes, I think that's right. Fourth season, which would have also been the fourth season of Criminal Minds. For those of you who
mm.
watch Grey's Anatomy, that's the fifth season of Grey's Anatomy. So, yeah, I mean, like these shows are all on at the same time. And I also remember too, just sort of, I mentioned being an X-Files fan from a young age, and I wasn't really online because this was like the year 2000, right? So we got MySpace in the 2000s, but this wasn't really something for me, at least, right? It wasn't something that I was easily able to find until about this time. So about 2009, 2010, when I got on Twitter, Tumblr, and started interacting with other fans who were watching all these shows.
It's so nice to have things like Discord to chat with other fans with because before it was like forums and maybe before that it was email lists, right?
Yeah, early X-Files was all email lists. Like, just I would wake up and there would be all my emails from my like Mulder Scully romance group, and it would be great. So
See, I would have never known.
Back in the days of Yahoo groups, right?
oh
Mm.
yeah, yep.
I happily forgot about email lists until you just brought it up.
Karen's having flashbacks.
Oh, wow.
No, I get the concept. Like we didn't really have internet at my house until 2009. I mean, we had internet, don't get me wrong. Like we did have dial up here and there, but we didn't have consistent internet until about 2009, which is when we first got Wi-Fi. So, yeah, I kind of missed all of that, like email lists and most of the forums because I mean, there was other things.
I think that's around when I signed up for Reddit, but I wasn't really like a
Mm.
prolific user back then. My cake day was like 16 years ago, so but yeah, like I mean, around then Twitter was still kind of new too, right? Social media wasn't really as big back then, so
You know, I actually got on Twitter because I had heard that cast members from Criminal Minds were opening Twitter accounts. And so I got on Twitter because of that. So it was, yeah, I mean, it used to be, I don't know, I guess Twitter is still a place that people are on except for me, but it used to
I'm
be
not
really
either.
great for, it used to be really great for, fandoms, at least, when I was there. I'm sure it's still great.
I mean, there was nothing quite like that thrill of like when a celebrity would like your tweet to them or even retweet you. Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember. So NCIS Los Angeles, which is my favorite NCIS, started in 2009 as well, fall of 2009. And I remember one of the actors, there was a key episode in season 3 where he was like live tweeting with us because that used to be a thing, right? Where they would
Yeah.
come and live tweet with you. And so he was live tweeting with the East Coast airing, and he responded to me, and I just like freaked out because oh my gosh, he saw my tweet, and he actually gave me information about how they got this done, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Access to celebrities and crew, casting crew can be really exciting. Yeah, so that's basically all we were going to do today. We're going to just introduce you, talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. But yeah, so the first episode of Castle Unit has actually already been recorded as of now. So, but it'll be out a week from today, and then we'll go from there. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Crystal, did you read the spoiler policy?
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Spoiler policies. Yeah, I started off, and then we got into a whole tangent. But since Castle aired a long time ago, the assumption is that you're listening to the episode having already seen the entire show. So we'll try to keep it like mostly spoiler free, but I mean, we're not gonna like be like pretty vigilant about it. So major plot points, no, but we'll try to keep it. Going to be kind of loose in the rules there. So
Yeah, like you should probably have an answer to the will they or won't they for this show if you're listening to our podcast.
yeah, I mean, in all three, they do eventually, right?
Yeah, that's why
I-
we love them. They satisfied our, sort of desire for seeing, romance in a detective series.
The
it's good.
Rom in the com.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny because they call it will they won't they, but come on, they will.
Well, I mean, that's so interesting.
Unless you're watching Sleepy Hollow, apparently.
Oh man, don't get me
Oh,
started on Sleepy Hollow. I'm still angry about it.
yep.
Still not over it. But yeah, I mean, it's just really fascinating because I think that's what made this the golden era of TV really was the showrunners who kind of just got over the, oh my gosh, we're going to end up like moonlighting if we get these people together. And they just started getting them together. And, the shows didn't end. And a lot of people criticize Bones for, how they got their people together, which is a different thing. But they criticize, sort of how they did it, how they didn't, show certain parts of the relationship. But really, it was kind of groundbreaking because they actually did it and then ran for 6 more seasons where, in a time period where you have things like the X-Files, which came a little bit before, but, if we actually got Mulder and Scully together and we saw them together, then wow, that might just ruin everything, right? And that used to sort of be the mentality.
I just rewatched seasons 1 through 8 last year, and it's just so crazy how you can just feel like the fear that the showrunners had in putting them on screen together. It's palpable. They're just like, oh my god, we cannot show them on screen together,
Mhm.
except in like little tidbits here and there. Like everything is behind the scenes. And then boom. Oh, sorry, you missed all this. It was happening. Trust us.
Or it's just something that Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny decided to do.
But yeah, that's about it. So thanks for listening. If you guys are enjoying Rom-Com Detectives, be sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, leave us a comment and let us know whether you plan to tune in to our castle unit. And if you've seen the show before, because there was one listener who was like, oh no, I'm going to have to watch Castle now. If you want to contact me, Tara, Karin, and Neoshia, you can email us at host@romcomdetectives.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky at Rom-Com Detectives, or you can leave us a voicemail or text message at 1-650-733-XOXO or 9696. This episode of Rom-Com Detectives was recorded on June 14, 2025. Rom-Com Detectives is co-hosted by Kristen Watanabe, Tara Avery, Karin Lubbers, and Neoshia Roemer, and is produced by Pico's House. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.